Hello singing friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Mickey here, your friendly neighborhood singing coach. If you guys hear any yelling or loud clapping, that is my husband in the other room. It is Michigan's big football game today, and he is watching and cannot contain his enthusiasm. So he also claps louder than anyone else on earth. So you may hear just punctuated gunshot sounds that are him clapping. I apologize for that. Today I'm gonna be doing a double header reaction to Ofra Haza. This is a request from Sarah Mengisto, my other Ofra super fan viewer, along with Laura Sassani. Do you guys know each other? Because maybe you would become best friends since you share this interest in Ofra. That would be really funny if I became a matchmaker for Ofra Haza fans. But anyway, so we're gonna be looking at the song Nin Alu, and I've reacted to some versions of the song before. I reacted to her singing it at the beginning of her career in '78 before she really blew up. And then I also reacted to her official video clip for it, the music video. And today we're gonna be looking at a version from 1984 from her album Yemenite Songs. And then also her performing the remixed version of the song, which was a huge hit and began her international career. This is her live performance on BBC's Top of the Pops from May 26, 1988. All right, so let's jump right in and check out the earlier version first.
Dalte maram lo nin alu el hay marimam ale karuvim ulam baru
So just that intro, when it's just her voice, is so powerful. It really sets the stage. I can't think of many performers that could sing a cappella like that and just create such a mood, It really is so powerful. And I don't want to say somber, but there's something that's very serious about her voice. It just fills the space and it echoes and it creates this feeling that you're really in the presence of greatness, and it really sets the stage for listening to a prayer or something. It sounds very holy and larger than life. So absolutely beautiful, very captivating. Very cool. Just gonna stop at a moment there again. So you can see why this would be a hit. It really has that crossover potential because of that great beat that really makes you want to get up and dance. It has a very upbeat kind of energy to it. I also really like the sound of that drum. I don't know what it is, but it just has this really cool kind of like booming sound to it, you know? It like sounds like it's like empty, and it has like these, it almost sounds like you're like banging on like a garbage can or something, but like in a good way, you know what I mean? Like if you ever go to like New York City and you see those like garbage bands when people just like assemble all of these found objects, and then they're like insanely good drummers, and they just like make all these really, really cool, unique sounds into like a percussion drum beat, you know? That's almost what it sounds like to me. It's such an unusual, cool sound. And then I think the thing that really makes this song special and catchy is that chorus, you know, the da 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 da. It kind of takes it in like an unexpected direction, and it has that really cool descending bass too that you can really hear in the mix on the chorus. It's just a really nice song, very catchy, and even though you can't understand, well, I can't understand what the lyrics are, there's just like a very catchy and cool sound to it, and it also has like enough of this like exotic, really interesting kind of haunting Eastern sound to make it truly captivating and just like grab your attention, you know?
Nin Alu, Nin Alu, Nin Alu, dalte nadi bime dalte maromelo Nin Alu. El hay marem, el hay marem, el hay marem, om al karu bime kullum baruch yalu. Jaljal wa ofan roashim, bedim shameu mgadashim.
Cool. So I think this song has a great groove and a great hook. I've talked about this before. I think that this song is timeless because of the way that it's produced, in that it doesn't have a lot of synthetic sounds in it. Like it doesn't have a lot of like synthesizers or like crazy electric guitars or like weird sounds that tie it to a specific era. it's much more organic sounding, and that kind of makes it sound much more timeless, which I really appreciate. It also really shows off her pitch and her ability to have amazing control on those fast moving, many note passages, you know, when she's dancing all around the melody and adding in all these ornaments. That takes a lot of vocal control, and her pitch is always exactly in the center, which is really impressive, especially given that there aren't a lot of elements in the track giving pitch. You know, there's a lot of like percussive elements and things and like a bass, but when she's singing, there's not a lot of like keyboards or guitars setting the chord underneath her. The accompaniment is rather sparse in terms of tonality, and so she's really able to find that pitch without a lot of aid from the other instruments, you know? So I think that's really impressive as well. So I think it's beautiful. I really, really love that chorus. Very, very hooky, and her voice sounds amazing. All right, so let's check out now her live performance of Nin Alu on Top of the Pops on May 26, 1988.
Take our next act, for instance. She's a huge star in Israel, and she's going to be monstrous here too. Up 10 places to 15, Ofra Haza. This is Nin Alu.
Just gonna pause it there for a moment. So, you know, speaking of timeless and not tied to any specific era, this is kind of the opposite of that, right? This is like the apogee of the 80s. It's very, very funny to see the neon lights and the multiple televisions and the fog machine and the shoulder pads. It's all very, very 80s. And you can hear also how the remix of the song adds in a lot more elements that tie it to the specific era that it was produced in. But, you know, and obviously they have the English as well, so it's more accessible to an international audience. And, you know, these are the things that you kind of had to do, I guess, to reach a wider audience in the States and really have a crossover hit, is appeal to what was hip at that moment, you know, both visually and sonically. But I think it's a beautiful song, and I think were it not for her beautiful voice and the catchiness of the hook of this song, it wouldn't have blown up that way anyway, even if you had gilded it with all of these trappings. So I think it's really cool. It's like a funny time capsule also to just like see what a show at this moment looked like, or, you know, what you had to do to kind of like get a record off the ground. It kind of almost looks like Studio 54 or something, you know, it's like so over the top and cheesy, but it's very interesting that you can kind of get a peek into what was going on at that time. And of course, she's always such a consummate professional and sounds amazing and looks beautiful. And they intersperse cuts of the video that I reacted to previously, which is funny to see that contrast too, you know, of like the Middle East and the sand and the donkeys and everything else. And then like the pop singer singing on a stage in a club in Britain or wherever Top of the Pops was. So it's very, very cool. Very, very funny and interesting. So I wonder if that actually was live vocals or if it was all pre-recorded. I mean, obviously there were a lot of background vocals and things that were pre-recorded. It probably was lip-synced, you know, that's what it sounds like to me, but you can verify if you know the deets on that. It's also kind of like funny to see what she's trying to like appeal to, you know, international audiences. And so there's like this like conception of what Middle Eastern women look like, what a Middle Eastern performer is supposed to look like, you know, with like the coin skirt, like a belly dancer, and even like the way that she's dancing, she has this like belly dancing hands, you know. So it's just very funny and interesting to see the way that they had to kind of like package her music in order to make it an international crossover hit. But it's a great song and she looks beautiful as always. So I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for asking me to react to this, Sarah. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing.